Okay, so this is my second video on Raspberry Pi 64-bit OS, and it is really running quite well actually. The browser was still terrible with Chromium. I did an update and 6 things were updated with sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade, and one of them was VLC, but VLC doesn't work. So if I go into VLC, it doesn't even launch. And I know that it said, this is a beta version, so obviously take all this into account. I know that it said that the hardware support wasn't there, and the same for Chromium. So you can see it does this for a while and then it just gives up. But on a better side, if you go into preferences and add remove software, you can find all sorts of things in here. And so I found a Sega Saturn emulator, which is 64-bit. I've also found, if I type in Firefox, it comes up with a 64-bit web browser. So I thought I'd try Firefox and show you what it's like. And if I click on the internet symbol at the top, it just launches Firefox anyway. So it seems to have made itself the default browser. And it definitely feels a lot more snappy than Chromium at the moment. And at 720 Windows like this, it works absolutely fine. So we're muted at the moment. Let's just unmute it just to show you that the sound works as well.
On edge, baby. I ain't had my coffee fix.
Sensitive times, everybody. Okay.
So it doesn't seem to have tearing when it's windowed and at 720, and so I think it's perfectly usable. So let's just pause that. But I've got something a bit more exciting than that, which is, well, to some people, under games. I haven't tried Dolphin Emulator yet. I'm going to have a play with that later on. So the Sega Saturn emulator, which I did ages ago. So I've overclocked now to 2147. And I'm using an SSD to run this operating system, this proper 64-bit operating system. But Sega Rally actually runs pretty well now. Now I've got frame skip enabled, and I had to change so you can go through the menus. You hear the sound is perfect. There's no issue with the sound at all. Even the music, although I think I've tried to disable the music. I know there it is. So I'm just going to turn my speaker down. So yeah, championship. So the menus you can see work absolutely fine. Everything you can see, I'm pressing the wrong button. But when you get to the point when it's about to play the game, if you change software video interface to OpenGL, you get some lines and stuff, but it actually runs really smoothly, and you can see 60 FPS Sega Saturn emulation. So this is a real plus point. I haven't had it running like this. It feels really lovely and smooth, and yeah, the graphics look a bit messed up, but it feels super smooth, really nice to play. The sound is perfect. Oh, I let go a bit there, didn't I? Oh yeah. So it's super playable. I haven't tried any other Saturn games at this stage, but I thought I'd let people know this because Sega Rally is a favourite for lots of people, and to think that you can just install it from the ordinary add remove program section and then have it running this smoothly. And there are all sorts of layers. This is an excellent emulator. There's all sorts of layers and things you can turn off and play around with. I haven't played around with it very much because that worked alright for me, really. I wonder if I can. Let's try going full screen. So here's full screen on my monitor, and you can see, so restart. So here's full screen, just to show you that it's working full screen as well. This is at 640 by 480. As you can see, it still says it's 60, and it's lovely and smooth. So excellent Saturn emulation, at least for Sega Rally. Obviously, you know, we don't know if that's going to be different for lots of other games, but I thought I'd let people know this. So I'm impressed with that. That's running very well, and maybe this is partly because it's now a native 64-bit operating system, that the performance on that is better. So I did try and launch the Dolphin emulator, but it was coming up with loads of errors, so I need to probably play around with that before I do a video on it. But at least we've got reasonable web browser with Firefox 64bit, and we've also got Sega Saturn running. So I'm happy with that. Thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe.